What is life purpose? Oh, it's your mission in life. It's your God-given task. It doesn't have to be all of this lofty, crazy thing. It can be very simple, concise, and practical. Here's what it is.
We all have to, everyone just tries to run away from it.
Let me tell you the truth about life purpose. You know, anyone that tells you that you can find your life purpose under 5 minutes, under 10 minutes, whatever so-called guru tells you that, I think they're just full of shit or they're lying to you. The reason why is, well, it's a life purpose. It's about your entire life. How can you find your life's calling? What is the most #1 important thing in your life? Under 5 minutes. You can't. There are certain questions that can guide you towards finding your life purpose, but you can't just find it right away like this. And often you gotta do the soul searching yourself. You gotta search for that life purpose yourself. It doesn't just come from someone telling you. If I were to tell you what your life purpose was, it would be a disservice to your authentic voice, to who you are, to your independence. They will help you find it, but it's impossible for them to literally find it for you. You gotta do the emotional lifting yourself, and only you. Nobody else will do that lifting for you. So, you know, some people will tell you life purpose is this God-given task that goes with the synchronicity of the universe or whatever thing you will find. I don't think it has to be that abstract and spiritual. It can be very simple, very concise, can simply be what you decide to do with your life. There's no clear definition of what life purpose is. You know, to give you an overview of what it is, we can separate it in 2 words. So there's life and there's purpose. So simply put, life purpose is the purpose of your life specifically. You know, I don't want to talk about the grand scheme of things of like, oh, the purpose of humanity, but your purpose, the focus that this is what you choose to do, and it doesn't have to be determined by whatever society wants, whatever humanity wants. Sure, it's nice to have a perspective of humanity and all this, but your purpose, what do you want to do authentically to you? You could see that life purpose is the very reason why you're alive. You're living, that you're existing. And obviously that is very subjective. This could be anything for anyone. And I think anyone who claims that they know absolutely what the purpose of life is, I think they're full of shit. There has been lengthy books written on the purpose of life, right? Which is a completely different thing in my opinion. And they claim that they found it. I don't think so. I think you gotta find it yourself. For something to be alive, it also has to die at some point. So anytime you say life, you also imply its inevitable death. By definition, anything that's alive is not gonna be alive forever. So when you see it that way, it means that life purpose is something that, do it. You have to jump on it before it's too late. You don't want to be on your deathbed and be like, oh, my life purpose, I should have discovered it like 80 years ago. No, you discover it now because the clock is ticking. Life is short. You don't know when you're gonna die. And on top of that, when you say you're committed to someone for the rest of your life, it means forever. So life purpose means you're committed to your purpose for the rest of your life. You can just be a passion, that's fine too, but just the word life purpose will just give a lot more impact with what you do with your life. Let me outline the 8 factors of life purpose that I explain in my book. If you want more details on it, you can always buy the book. It's fucking $3. So if you don't have $3, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I made it $3 so everyone could have access to it. As I'm speaking right now, it should be available. If it's not available, I'll let you know in the comments, don't worry. What is the first aspect of life purpose? Life purpose is evolving. Evolving. It means that life purpose is constantly changing in function of, you know, your life experience and what you want out of life. You might like something when you're younger, and then this liking, this hobby into something, as you grow older, it just morphs into something different, while still keeping the core values, right? For example, if you like painting, and then when you become older, you want to become an architect or something, the painting, the aspect, the artistic expression of it hasn't changed. It has just evolved into a different medium, a different form. Number two, life purpose is intuitive. It's not necessarily something that's logical that you have to pinpoint right now. While it could be, right? Sure, you can logically try to find what you want to do with your life, but fundamentally, a life purpose needs an emotional, intuitive, spontaneous component to it. You know what happens when you just go about it logically? Become a doctor, become, those like stereotypical good jobs in society. By the way, if that is what you want, that's fine. But the problem is when you trust, logically what is better for you, more than what intuitively, emotionally comes to you, there will be an intrinsic disconnect with whatever you're doing. You won't be engaged in it, you lose motivation with it, because it wasn't in touch with what you subconsciously, intuitively always wanted. Whether that was what you wanted as a child, when you were a teenager, whatever that was, that's what I mean by intuition. Number three, life purpose is volatile. Volatile meaning that it's hard to grab with your hands. If you're trying to force it, you're trying to find your life purpose, like I want it right now. That's what some people on an existential crisis do, is that they try to grasp to something right away. They go on a trip. Well, I don't know what to do with my life, but let me try this, let me try that. Like this compulsive, like trying to go towards like finding something, which is better than sitting on your couch and doing nothing. But eventually you will hit a wall. You'll be scrambling around too much. Like you're trying to catch the butterfly with your hands, like trying to run after it and everything. As the saying goes, as cheesy as it is, if you sit down and wait, the butterfly might as well land on your lap. Now, that doesn't mean to sit down on your couch and do nothing, but hey, be patient. You can still catch the butterfly, but go get a net and be patient. Don't run after the butterfly, but like go to the butterfly slowly and then whoosh, you catch it. Number four, life purpose arises out of life experience. This is when the intuitive part comes with the practical part, right? I've talked about how it's intuitive but it's tangible to life experience. It's not just some this lofty thing, but it has to align with what you've done in your life so far, and it has to align with a bit of your upbringing, your aspirations throughout life, from age 0 to whatever age you are right now. Like, would you want to be a pro basketball player if you never played basketball in your entire life, and then you're just like, oh well, you know what, I'm gonna be a pro basketball player? It would be a little irrational, a little illogical. It has to align with what you've done in the past and what you will do in the future according to those experiences. It doesn't mean to be locked to the past. It doesn't mean to be locked to a preconceived life of whatever thing happened in the past. It just means common sense. What have you done in your life so far that, has built up your skills, your personality, and what life purpose would align with that? Simply. Number 5, life purpose is aligned with your zone of genius. So what does that mean, zone of genius? It comes from Gay Hendricks' book called The Big Leap. And he talks about the various stages of competence. If you don't know how to babysit, incompetence. Second zone, zone of competence. The things you kind of do, like normally, wash the dishes, drive, things that people can do that it doesn't make you any spectacular, but you can do it. Number 3 is zone of excellence. That is the tricky one because 99% of people get stuck on it. That is, the zone of excellence is the thing that everyone tells you you're good at, but somehow it doesn't really connect with you. For example, maybe you've gone to school to become a doctor and people tell you, you have great grades, you're good at it, but your heart is not really into it. People tell you to keep doing it, because it gives you a good reputation, or it's seen positively by your parents, by others. It's more secure. So the zone of excellence is the biggest trap. There's another book called Good to Great where they talk about staying with good. This is what prevents you from leaping into great. So the big leap comes from the good thing of the zone of excellence to doing a big leap to the zone of genius. So what is the zone of genius? The zone of genius is the zone that really intuitively, emotionally resonates with you and is also aligned with your competencies, like your best ones. You know, most geniuses in life that invented crazy things, when they started as geniuses, they were seen as some crazy whatever person. Who was it? Like the guys who invented the plane, like they would probably be seen as crazy. Like, what, you're trying to invent a plane? What the fuck? We can't fly. What are you crazy? What? Only birds can fly, not humans. Humans cannot fly. What? Right. So geniuses are seen as crazy because most of the zone of genius, necessitates that you take a big risk. Ridiculed, rejected by others, hated by the popular opinion. That doesn't mean that it's shit. It means that it's just unconventional. And that is the approach I want to have with life purpose. Life purpose is the thing that you were uniquely destined to do. Who else could replace me behind this mask? I don't know. Anyone could be a self-help coach. Anyone could be a, talk on camera, be a YouTuber. But who can do what I do right now? Can anyone in the entire world copy me 100%? Can anyone in the entire world write this book that I wrote exactly the same way that I wrote it? Can anyone in this entire world do those GoPro, whatever crazy videos, POV style, and edit them exactly the way I do it? No. No one on this entire earth can do it exactly like I do. Not that I'm better than anyone. Of course not. I'm not better than anyone. I'm just different. I'm doing this more authentically. And that's what I invite you to do with your zone of genius, is to live authentically to what you're authentically the best at and uniquely destined to be the best at. And that brings me to my sixth point. Is that it? Six? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That brings me to my sixth point, which is authentic self. Your life purpose aligns with what you authentically want to do. And this means to shed away all the layers of social conditioning of what people try to tell you. You can't do that. This is too unrealistic. This is too crazy. It'll take you years to succeed, or it'll never succeed. A lot of young entrepreneurs face this dilemma. Either I become an entrepreneur and, it's a hard, crazy fucking work, or I just take a regular job and, live the safe life. But the authentic self will always call for this crazy thing most of the time. And the authentic self comes from, listening to your inner voice, your inner child that's been, screaming all along, telling you, yo, I want to do this. The societal voice has, stomped on it, told you like, no, you can't do that, it's too crazy. By listening to the societal voice, you suppress the inner child voice in you. You suppress that intuitive voice that's telling you what to do, and you listen to society instead. And as the years go by, this voice just gets quieter and quieter, and just at the end of it, there's nothing else to hear. Number 7, life purpose is what makes you the most fulfilled. Fulfillment is not, just like temporary happiness. People don't try to find fulfillment, most people in life. They try to find happiness in the vague sense. This short-term burst of emotion that quite honestly doesn't mean anything. It's just a burst of, oh, I got this quick money. Oh, I got this girl. Oh, I got the thing. I got that thing. You take a moment when you feel really happy in your life. Maybe it was like, when you were a kid and you received a present you always wanted, right? And you feel very happy for maybe a day, or maybe for like 10 minutes. But imagine you take that 10 minutes and you stretch it out for years, right? It's just this feeling inside of you that you're doing something good. It's always in the background. No matter how you feel, you can be really sad, really depressed, really lonely, really afraid, whatever you feel, you will always have this fulfilled background emotion. That's my definition of fulfillment, by the way, is achieving something that you truly wanted to achieve and that mattered to you. You know, I posted a video recently of how bad I felt, sad, lonely I felt. But even through this loneliness, I still felt fulfilled because I knew like, hey, even though I'm feeling not that great right now, every word that I speak to you, to the camera, to you guys, it means something important to me. And the last point, number 8, life purpose means emotional labor, all right? So to leave you on something more practical, more reality hit in the face, like the way you like it on my channel, life purpose. It's not like any regular job where, you know, you punch the clock. It's physical work, right? Because you're doing things with your hands, or you're answering calls, or you're talking to customers, you know, you're talking. But the difference with life purpose is that you have a lot more emotional investment, meaning that emotionally, you make decisions. Emotionally, you take the hard hits. Emotionally, you take action. You're a lot more invested because you take it seriously. It's like your biggest dream. So if it fails, if something happens, when obstacles hit you, it hits you right there in the heart. Let's say you go at your typical job, a client kind of screams at you. Do you care? No. Like, are you invested in the job? Is your job your sense of identity? No, you don't give a shit. But if it's your life calling, oh my God. You get hated on for it, you get rejected for it. It's a lot harder than fulfilling this boring job. On top of that, at the boring job, you don't take much decisions. You usually have a superior taking decisions for you. And if you take decisions, they're just kind of decisions, like menial decisions, like, oh yeah, we're gonna call this client, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, okay, we're gonna arrange the displays that way. But emotionally, when you have to make the decision of your life purpose, of I wanna impact this type of people by doing this type of thing, and I'm gonna pour my heart and soul into this video, so I can impact them. There's a high chance that I'm gonna get just as much approval as hate. It's a lot harder than deciding which color is gonna be the coupon that you give to your clients. So those are the 8 factors of life purpose and what life purpose is to me. You know, that's just a groundwork for you, a bit more abstract type of theory, but I think it's important to have a base of what life purpose is, so then we can move forward and find, you know, what life purpose is actually. You know, if you want to learn more, you can pick up my book. I go in detail and, you know, I give you more precise examples from my own life. You know, you'll hear my story about like how I wanted to be a filmmaker and it didn't work out, and how I wanted to be a public speaker and shit like that. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to click on the bell when you subscribe so you receive all my videos that I release every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let me know in the comments below, like, are you on your quest to finding your life purpose? If so, how's it going for you? I read every comment, I reply to every comment. So I'll see you in the next vid. Peace, guys.